Welcome back to the third in the series on what I'm calling expressive techniques. Little doodads and things that you can add to your playing to make it more expressive when you try soloing. This one's going to be on hammer-ons and pull-offs. If you don't know, a hammer-on is when you kind of hammer your finger onto the fretboard. You pick once. Let's say we're going to play an open D string, the fourth string, and I'm going to take my second finger and punch it down right before the second fret to keep the note ringing. For some reason or another, that got to be known as a hammer-on. Let's do it again. Try that. Let's try one on the first fret of the B string. Just hammering your first finger down on the B string, keep it ringing. You don't want it to sound like. If you do it too slowly, you'll just dampen the string. If you do it fast enough, you'll keep it ringing like that. So that's what a hammer-on is. Sometimes we do two hammer-ons in a row. In this little blues that I'm going to teach you this time, we do one from the 5th fret of the A string to the 7th fret of the A string. We're going to do a double hammer-on. So that's pick with your first finger on the 5th fret, that's a D note, and then hammer on with your second finger, and then hammer on with your third finger. Call it a double hammer-on if you want. Okay, that's what a hammer-on is, and chances are you've probably already tried some. The other part of the equation is what we call a pull-off. Let's say we take this A note, 2nd fret of the G string, and if you pull your finger off, in my case I kind of pulled downward, and you kind of pick the string with that finger. So I'm picking it once, and now I'm pulling that finger off the string. I want the note to keep ringing. Let's try a pull-off on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. If it sounds like you're not jerking the finger off of it enough, you have to pull it kind of sideways. It's possible to do it upwards. I don't know many people that do it that way. Let's try it up the neck. We're going to be playing a blues in G, and one of the licks will be a pull-off from the 7th fret of the D string to the 5th fret of the D string, like this. Okay, let me play this blues for you, and it's pretty simple. It's in the key of G. So the 3 primary chords that we make the blues out of is going to be a G chord, a C chord, that's called the 4 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, starting on the 4th degree of a G scale, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 chord is D. So 1 G, 4 C, 5 D. This is how it goes. Double pull-off. So that's all over a G chord. We've got an open D, hammer on 2nd fret to open G. Dun, dun. I always like to hum along with what I play, at least in my mind. I say if you can't sing it, you can't play it. What I mean by that is if you're not humming along with something while you're playing it, maybe it's not coming from your heart. So most of the best players I know are at least internally humming along with what they're playing, singing through the instrument. So ba-dum ba. Can you hum that or sing it or mumble it? Ma ma ma. This is what we're doing. Hammer on D string, 2nd fret, open G. And then we do a pull off from the 2nd fret of the G, open G, back to a 2nd fret D, E note. So that first part, dun, 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 dun. Can you try that? Ba-dum, ba, ba-da-dum. Then we do a double kind of a hammer on. D, E, hammer on. G, A, hammer on. Open B. Dun, dun, dun. Now we do a pull off from the 1st fret of B, which is a C note, down to an open G. Try that. 1st fret, pull off. Again, you want to kind of pick the string when you pull off. Okay, the whole first part. 3, 4. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, then it switches to a C chord. Then we do this double hammer on. Up the neck here, starting 5th fret of the A string, a D note, and right in half steps. Pick the 1st finger, hammer on 2nd, hammer on 3rd, and then right to the 5th fret of the D string, which is a G note. Try that. Then we have this lick. So we've got a pull off from the 7th fret of the D string to the 5th fret. Pull off your 3rd finger. Excuse me, right down to the 7th fret of the A. Pick, pull off, pick. Followed by this. So we got a 7th fret, pick, pull off, and pick one more time on that note. This is a G note, so we've got 2 G's. This is an A note. A, pull off, G, pick G. Then we go pull off 7 to 5 on the A string, which is kind of down the major pentatonic scale, which most of this is based on. Okay, so again over that C chord, the double hammer on, then the pull off, reiterating that G note, pull off, 7th fret, bottom E string, down to the G root. Okay, so far we've been playing G major pentatonic, sometimes down here. Now I decided to throw in some bluesier sounding notes, and something we often do is a double pull off up on the top E strings like this. This one you might find a little challenging. You're going to have to pull off your little finger from the 6th fret of the top E to the 5th fret where your 3rd finger is waiting. So you want to already have that pressed down on the 5th fret. And then pull that one off to your waiting 3rd finger. And then we go to the 5th fret of the B, which is an E note, back to this G note. like that. And then we take that same pattern down a string or toward the ceiling, down meaning in the lower sounding string direction. Sorry. Okay, so the same pattern is up here. And then we do a single fret pull off from 3rd to 2nd finger, 5th to 4th fret G string. So now we're on the D, over the D chord. It's going to sound like this. D da do da, D da do da, D D. When we get to that note, it goes back to the G chord, and we end with this, which is a very country-ish staple lick. This time we're going to play what we call a double stop. We're stopping 2 strings with our finger. The term comes from the violin where they stop the strings. They don't have frets. So we're going to bar the 3rd fret and then hammer on with our 3rd finger from the 3rd to the 5th fret while keeping this top E note ringing. So you're going to have to make sure you keep the fatty part of your finger from touching the ringing top E string. So it should sound like this. But as you can see, it's kind of easy to have this part of your finger touch the top E so that it stops the top E from ringing. So you really want to have this finger coming perpendicular to the neck to keep the top E ringing. Alrighty, let me play the whole thing for you one more time. Starts with open strings. Up the neck. And then the double pull off. Open strings. Double pull off. Alrighty, hammer on and pull-offs. It's a real basic thing that you got to know how to do. Use it all the time. Super handy stuff to know. Just take it slowly, you'll probably get it down. You'll be able to download this backing track, and I might make the tab of this to make it a little easier for you. Good luck, and I'll see you next time.